is a bit of a windy one and in some ways kind of a direct one in a lot of ways. I'm originally from South Alabama, small town, relatively, Greenville, Alabama, and was first person in my family to go to college and graduate from college. Went to the University of Alabama, graduated with a degree in public relations and a minor in business. All the different career inventories always pointed to something in the law, but being stubborn as some people say that I am, I tried several different things in my youth. I was a teacher at my old high school, advertising and marketing. I wrote for a local newspaper. I leased retail space for a mall developer. But at some point, my incredible wife, Jillian, who's from the Shiloh area here, that's why I'm here in Harris County, Georgia, convinced me, you've been talking about it for so long, you need to take the LSAT. And so I did. I was accepted to a smaller school out of Montgomery, Faulkner University, Jones School of Law, and incredible education there, but came with the one caveat is I had to commute from Columbus where I was working. So I would leave about 5:30 local time, make it to Montgomery around 6 o'clock or so Central Time, go to class up until maybe 9:30 at night, come all the way back to Shiloh, and get up and do it all over again at least 3 times a week while holding a full-time job. Eventually moved a little closer to stay with some friends and family in that area and worked for a large law firm down there and got some great experience while working, while going to school. And came back and started looking for a job. And so I was a regular in the courtrooms around the circuit here, watching cases with Chief Judge Gil McBride. And just so happened his law clerk was on her way out and they had a spot to fill, and it just worked out, amazing providence there that I was able to clerk for Judge Gil McBride, the late Doug Pullen, and Judge Art Smith, who is the incoming president of the Superior Court Council next year. So that's an interesting combination with the two of us. We've taken some pride in. And when there was an opening here in Harris County, since I had kind of helped out in so many different ways across the circuit, some local elected officials here got some encouragement that maybe you should run. And at first I was like, well, that's interesting. I'm a law clerk. I feel like I have a few more things to accomplish first, but it was the right thing at the right time. Even though there's an old proverb that says, Proverbs 16:9, I think, that says, the man's mind plans his way, but the Lord directs his steps. And I've found that to be the case. A lot of times I think I know where I'm headed, but God knows where I'm at and where I'm supposed to be. And that's what led me here. I'm into my second term now, and I really enjoy it. I think the best part for me is I come from a blue-collar, hard-working background. My family, it was their mission to send me to college. I mentioned earlier, being the first person to not only graduate undergrad, but go to law school was just a phenomenal. So I see a lot of people who, this is their first time in court. Probate court is really the court of first impression for so many people. And we generally get folks that's not their best day. They're here to probate the estate of a loved one or seek guardianship or conservatorship over someone close to them, and all the way to a traffic ticket in my jurisdiction here. And so I take great responsibility in trying to put on a good face for the judiciary for these people who may not otherwise ever have a need to go to another court, to make them feel welcome to the extent that I can within the confines of court procedure, to help them kind of guide them along the way without giving legal advice, of course. It's a time for them to understand that nobody in the court's is here to embarrass them or out to get them, so to speak. And once I tell them that, you just see kind of just a calm go over most of the people in the courtroom. And I think that's important. I think we have to take that responsibility to make sure as judges and judicial staff that we let people know that this process is here for them. We're here to work for them, although it may not always be a result that they would like. I find that when people have an opportunity to have their say in court and to feel like people actually care, it puts a lot of faith back into the judiciary, which we certainly need. I think the main thing is to try to get us back to some sort of sense of normalcy. I mean, my predecessor, Judge Wolk out of Cobb County, the start of her term was right when the pandemic was starting in the spring of 2020, and she just did a tremendous job of keeping all the plates spinning. You know, we had just guidance coming out every other day, every other minute, emergency judicial council meetings every week, if not more often, and she did a great job of just kind of keeping us afloat. This past year and the rest of this term has been, okay, where can we pick up and kind of make us get transitioned to whatever that normalcy is? And so I'm picking up some things that we were pretty far along with, and I hope to set up for my successor coming in. We're looking at getting e-filing back on track so we can make that accessible for everyone. A unified fee structure is one thing that we're hoping to get more in line with some of our other courts, and we're picking those things back up. Again, like I said, hopefully getting to a sense of normalcy. That's the main thing I'm hoping to bring for the remainder of my term in leadership. Oh, some high-level stuff. I'm sure that everybody be impressed with. Nibbles the Book Monster, a lot of Dr. Seuss, decodable readers for those of you who have 5-year-olds. Yeah, that's just been one of the great joys, is being able to sit down and read with my daughter Dorothy Grace and my wife Jillian with her, and she's just phenomenal. That takes up the bulk of our time. Anything that we can do outdoors with her too has been fantastic. Try to balance that time of wonder for her right now. But yeah, a lot of those titles right there, I commend to you if you have time in your reading schedule.